Hey guys, thank you for clicking on this video. I've got a pretty good explanation for writing content specific for SEO. This is going to be an overview. We're not going to cover every single little aspect, but this is going to give you a real nice overview on writing for what the search engines look for and how Google essentially crawls your site. What I'm going to do is share my screen. I'm going to share one of the landing pages that we have for Garner Group Marketing. This is a web or landing page specifically designed for the keyword web design in Salisbury, Maryland. Now, I say this is a landing page. This is not my home page. This is not my web design page. This is a landing page built specifically around the keyword web design Salisbury, Maryland. So now web designer is a variation, so it will bring in, this page will get results from that keyword as well. But the idea is if you have especially a local community, you need these type of location pages so that you're targeting your specific area. You know, if I were to say I want my website to rank for web design or web designers or web development, that phrase is talking about, nationally, maybe globally, competing against, millions of other companies. So if you're trying to rank for a specific keyword, maybe you should go a step further and think about, what exactly it is that you're trying to rank for. If you've got a service, or let's say a restaurant, maybe you've got chicken wings and you want to be the best chicken wings in Salisbury, Maryland, then you should have a landing page built specifically for that keyword in that location. Insurance agencies, maybe you have a tanning salon, maybe you have the beach access, whatever it is that you have. You want a page dedicated to that keyword. So again, this site right here is dedicated to the keyword web design Salisbury, Maryland. Some people even search web design companies in Salisbury, Maryland. So let me just kind of break this down for you. So when you're starting out writing your content, the very first thing that marketing people tend to lean towards is writing this top line using some adjectives or verbs, just to kind of show some motion and emotion and things like that. Powerful, professional, beautiful, or trying to incorporate some sort of call to action right off the bat or something like that. Well, when it comes to Google, this is something called a headline or a header, but it's called an H1. So if I inspect this and I just come here, you're going to notice that it's called H1 dot title dash heading, all this other stuff. That the title dot heading and all of that, it just depends on your theme and kind of your CSS with how it's styled. However, the H1 is the important aspect. So when Google crawls your site, it's a robot, it's machines. It's not a person. So when Google crawls your site, it's going to look for the H1. And the H1 is the most important. It's a hierarchy. H1, then H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So Google is going to give the H1 the authority. This H1 should tell me what my site is about. So right off the bat, putting your most important keyword into that H1 is going to be very important. So web design company in Salisbury, Maryland. So when Google crawls this site, they can grab the H1 and know exactly what it's for. I'm basically telling Google, hey, this page was built for web design, for people looking for web design in Salisbury, Maryland. It doesn't have to go very far to be able to see that. So this right here, I encourage you. I know it's very tempting to write some clever little phrase or something else, but I encourage you to incorporate the keyword that you're really trying to rank for right here in this H1. Now, this little sentence underneath it is where you can be a little bit more creative if you want. I still suggest throwing in a keyword or maybe a variation or something in here, but this is, the business market is incredibly competitive in Salisbury. So I wanted to specify the location more. Don't put your small business at risk. So this H1, H2 should be right off the bat keyword specific. All right, now if I scroll down here to the next section, this is again the next most important aspect. This is the first paragraph that Google's going to crawl. Now, when Google's looking for a site to serve in the search engine, in the results, they are going to want to show, the whole idea behind the Google algorithm is to show the most relevant websites to a customer so that the experience with Google is liked and they have a return visitor back to the search engine. So Google is going to serve your site in the search engines, in the results, more often if they feel your site is very relevant. The more relevant your site is, or at least your page is to that keyword, the more often your site is going to show up in the results. So the very first paragraph, Google wants to say or wants to ask a question. If I'm reading this website, is it really about web design? If you are a great storyteller and you feel like you want to start out your paragraph talking about your childhood and how the moment that you were 3 years old and you tripped and fell and bumped your head and it inspired you to create blah, 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 blah. Hey, maybe you're a great storyteller, but it should go down in the page, not at the very beginning. Okay? Right off the bat, your first paragraph should have those keywords in it, as well as talk about what it is that your keywords are about. So we have another header right here. This is an H3, but we're right here. This very first sentence in the paragraph starts out as a question. Now, I did that because when people do searches, they generally search in the form of a question. Web designer in Salisbury, Maryland. So I just looking for, and Google will recognize this as a question. And so we made it in bold just to give it a little more declaration there. But we gave it a little bit of branding. So now we're actually talking about the company, and we've been building and designing websites here in Salisbury since 2016. So of course now we're making it again relevant. So if Google crawls this, they can see that we're not just keyword stuffing. We're talking about who we are, what we've done, and then we website development, web design, help them rank as well on Google using SEO practices. So all of this right here, and of course we're talking about the location, over and over again. Location, keyword, web design, location, web design, location. Now, to get started, right here we have a link. Now, this is an internal link. It means it's linking to somewhere else in our website. But this first paragraph or first section of text is important. So we have a link that goes to another page, but look at the words we've chosen to link. Custom website design in Salisbury. So that right there gives these keywords a little more credence for Google. Now, I've linked it to a very specific page in our website, web design. Now, this is our web design homepage. It doesn't talk about any locations. It just talks about the different aspects of what we offer in web design. But the fact that we're linking to a web design page within our site in our first set of text here, again, tells Google, reinforces to Google, this page is about web design and in Salisbury. So this whole first sentence here is designed on purpose so that that is the case. Now, this photo, I'm going to show you something. If you Google Salisbury, Maryland, what is the first photo that pops up? Look at that. We use the same photo as the very first photo that pops up on Google. That's not a mistake. That's on purpose. Now, sometimes these photos do not have copyright. Sometimes they do. If they have copyright, pay for the use of these photos. If they do not, fantastic. You don't have to. But we chose to use this. We added an overlay with the text Salisbury, Maryland. And if you look at the overlay, so if I scroll over here, the tooltip here says web design, local SEO, digital marketing agency based in Salisbury, Maryland, Garner Group Marketing. So we have the alt image tag and a tooltip that also has our keywords in this section. So we're using an image that we know already ranks well on Google. We're overlaying text that Google will read, so that, again, it knows that we're talking about the location. We give it all the coding behind the scenes so that it displays properly to Google. We're sending signals from our first paragraph, from our first link, from our H1, and even our title of the page is Salisbury Web Design and Development. So everything about this page tells you everything that you need to know if you're looking for web design in Salisbury, Maryland. Now, this is what we call a location page. Now, we've added a whole lot more to this page than just what we've shown here. I'm not going to go into detail about these next sections, but I will give you kind of a brief look at it. So when you go past this, we just have different images. We're using alt text behind these images to make sure that we are getting the Google coding. Again, we're talking more about web design, all the different aspects that go into web design, what sets us apart from our competition. We have a ton of links in these paragraphs here. Again, what we offer is just basically another chance to talk about us. Anytime we can talk about web-related items, we're going to do so. It just gives us another opportunity to put a keyword here, keyword there. And then down here, we have embedded straight from Google these reviews. So these aren't images. This is an embed of these reviews and an embed of our map that features our reviews. So just more and more signals to Google about this page saying we are web design and we are in Salisbury. This little section here, it is just a drop down. It's just talking about the city, the location. It's Doesn't have anything to do with web design. It's just trying to send more signals to Google that this is what we're about. This is where we are. You can see all of this here. These are links to different organizations, government affiliations, but you notice they're in these little drop downs here. Driving directions, again, just trying to send more and more signals from Google that we're talking about the location that we're talking about. More links. These are just some of our blog posts. So all of these are just interlinking from other pages within our site. And then these pages here have links back to other pages. So anytime we're just trying to build a very, very strong interweb link with our link strategy from within. I just like these images, and it gives me more of an opportunity to do more alt image tags, again, just behind the scenes, and that's basically it. So this is our Salisbury, Maryland location landing page, and I can tell you now, if you were to do any sort of Google search for Salisbury, Maryland web design, we're going to show up on the first page. And I won't say we didn't have to work at it, because obviously it takes work to develop a page like this, but we didn't buy backlinks. We're not, paying social media, sending traffic to this specific page. This was created and built, on an SEO platform for that specific purpose, using all the best practices and important aspects for SEO, and we've been rewarded for doing that. So I hope this video helps you, and if you need help designing these type of pages, please reach out. We build these kind of in sets of 6. So if you're wanting us to build some pages for you, just reach out. My email is justin@garnergroupmarketing.com. You can also give us a call, 443-978-7174, and we'd be happy to start building some location pages for you. If you have any questions, comment below, shoot me an email, give us a call, and have a great day.